Your 7-year cycle is ending. What is awakening now? We're going to have a look at what chapter is closing as Uranus leaves Taurus. We're going to have a look at what new energy is coming in as Uranus enters Gemini, and how can you best work with this shift. So Uranus is finally leaving Taurus after 7 years of shaking up your value, your body, your money, your sense of security. And this revolutionary planet is moving into Gemini. Everything that speaks about change in how you think, in how you speak, in how you connect and create. So let's have a look. What you are leaving behind. This is a cup. This is a card of leaving things behind. We'll go through that in a moment. What Spirit, what new energy is coming in as Uranus enters Gemini? So we're going to have a look at what's activating in your mind and in your voice and in your ideas or relationships. We have got the Star. Let me just cover that. And then let's have a look at how you can best work with this energy. So this is practical or spiritual guidance to help you to embody this new frequency and thrive through it. What do we need to know? We have got radiant. So what are you leaving behind? I have always loved how tarot understands the questions so literally, because this is a card of leaving something behind. We can see from the illustration that there is a being who is walking off into the distance. And then we see these 8 cups in the foreground. Now, in different variations of tarot, sometimes these cups are spilled. In this particular version, all of these cups are in the standing position. And this tells me something important, that you're not necessarily leaving because your life is broken. You're not walking away necessarily from chaos, that you've actually created something that others might envy. But deep down inside of you, there's something that is stirring. There could be this pull, or there could be a knowing that you've outgrown this current version of yourself. And Uranus in Taurus was really about grounding, about building foundations. And you may have spent these years laying the bricks in your career, in your relationships, in your home life. And now Gemini is calling, and there's this curiosity. There's an evolution that is calling you, and you're ready to leave comfort for something that ignites your soul. So we can notice that this figure, they walk alone, but they're also walking with purpose. There's no regret. There's just this quiet courage. So I feel that there is this sense of gratitude for what you've already built, but there is this feeling or a pulse of something more. We can see in the sky that there is both the sun and the moon, which is quite interesting because our next card is the Star card. There is a reason that we see the combination of this sun and the moon. So the moon is very magnetic, it pulls the tides. And this might feel like there is a tide that is shifting beneath the surface of your life. And that is the energy of the moon, the intuitive, the emotional, and the part of you that senses what's next before you can see it. So you don't necessarily have to have all of the answers right now. You just have to feel it. But soon there will be this full revelation with the sun. The sun brings that illumination where it won't be asking you to guess anymore. It feels like downloads of information are going to be shown to you. And what maybe felt like a pull in a certain direction will become clear. All you may know right now is that you're being called forward, and you need to listen to that pull. This moon is going to guide you, this intuition is going to guide you, and then the sun, as you walk through these steps, it will all be revealed. What new energy is coming in as Uranus shifts into Gemini is this beautiful, beautiful star card. I apologize because I do have to cover it up. In this particular rendition of the star card, she's actually seated. Let's see if I can move it up just a little bit. Anyway, you'll have to take my word. She is seated. Normally, she is kneeling over the water. And my immediate thoughts when I saw her seated like this was like, okay, she's grounded. So there's this sense that you are very stable and very present. You're not floating or distant like in some decks. We can see that in one hand she has a jug that is being dipped into the water, and the other one is where she is watering the grass here. Now, this first jug is all about self-nourishment, and it really symbolizes tuning into her psychic gifts, her intuition, and emotional well-being. So she is tending to her inner world first. This second jug that is watering the grass, this to me represents how she is now ready to share what she has learned with others, that she's integrated her insight and she's starting to give it outward into the world. I also am noticing this with the actual stars that we're seeing in the sky. Do you see that there are 7 little stars and then this larger star, the central star? I think that these 7 smaller stars could represent the past 7 years, especially since this reading is tied to Uranus just having left Taurus after a 7-year transit. Those years, they've taught you a lot, and now with that big central star shining right above you, this is about fully stepping into visibility, so you may be seen in a new way now. It is your time to literally shine. The other thing that I'm noticing is this fruit tree in the background. It's possibly an apple or an orange tree, but to me it's symbolic of a harvest or a fruit coming from everything that you've moved through and worked on, and now you're ready to share these results of your growth. Lastly, we have this pile where we are looking at what is awakening within you with this Uranus shift. And we have this Radiant card, and this really reflects this star card that we have seen here earlier. So we can see that it's saturated in beautiful, warm, golden tones. And it really deepens this message. So surrounding the scene are these old-fashioned oil lamps and glowing pumpkins, each carved with esoteric symbols. These glowing objects, they almost feel like ancestral wisdom that is coming back to light, truths that were long held, now returning with fresh meaning. And we can see these beautiful paper lantern flowers. I know that's not their name, I can't remember it right now. But this really adds a delicacy to this harvest scene, like lightness guiding the way through shadow. We can also, in the background, see this jug of oil. And this, when I was studying this card, it reminded me about the parable of 10 virgins. And that message is clear that you've kept your light alive, you've saved your oil, and you are ready. So this card really affirms that your glow comes from intention and preparation and trust in divine timing. And you've tended to your inner flame, and now it's your time to shine. So you're walking away from a version of life that maybe once satisfied you, not because it has failed, but because your soul is ready for more. And as the star rises, you're grounding your inner wisdom and you're healing through intuition and preparing to share your light. And with Radiant as your final card, it's clear that the glow within you is ancient, it's sacred, and it's finally ready to be seen. So this shift, it isn't just a new chapter, it's a moment where your purpose is really beginning to shine. Same day readings have just been restocked, so if you would like me to look at what is happening personally for you with this shift, then I would be delighted to do so.